Hello. Today we are reading some Reddit posts from r/entitled_parents. Let's get into it. Our next Reddit post is from Thingathinger19. This entitled brat kicked my puppy. Entitled mother defends him and promptly gets kicked in the stomach. So, for some added context, my dog is a 3-month-old Cavachon pup, extremely smart but not trained yet. He is also not quite vaccinated fully. I was taking him back from the training school we put him in when who else but the entitled mother and entitled brat come in. Not wearing masks, of course. From here on out, I will refer to the characters of this story as entitled mom, entitled kid, me puppy, dog. So anyway, back to the story. Can I pet your dog? Me, sorry bud, I can't let you pet him right now. He hasn't had his vaccinations yet, and he's not very well trained, so he might bite. So for the safety of my dog and you, I can't let YM. Oh come on, just let him. He won't get your dog sick. Me, even if that was true, he might get bit, so I can't allow your kid to. And that's when I heard a loud ow coming from behind me. Guess what happened? EB got bit. What a shocker. I then turn around and I see this awful brat kick my dog. He kicked my puppy. So I pick him up and soothe him, and then I yell at him. Me, did your kid just kick my puppy? Then M has the audacity to say, well, the little shoot deserved it. At this point, I had had enough of her shoot, so I kicked her in the stomach and, still holding my dog, ran away. I had put up with too much at this point and I wanted to get them away from me and my dog. While I was running away, I could hear her say something along the lines of help. This brat kicked me in the stomach and stole my dog. But I didn't really care enough to listen. Thankfully, the dog was okay, but holy shoot, the audacity of this fricker. Our next Reddit post is from NA Anymore. My M is gloating because my rapist won the lawsuit, so now she can tell me, I said you so. I know that, at this point, I shouldn't be surprised by her actions, but this is hurting me just like nothing before. As a kid, when I told her about the abuses I had to endure, she went nuts because I decided to report him to police. She said that I had to tell nothing and just forget everything, otherwise she will spend a lot of money on me and people would know how much of a B-word I was. I was hurt, but I didn't care about her opinions, so I reported him to police anyway. Now, more than 10 years later, he's still free and he will never be arrested, because he managed to trick the law system and made void the lawsuit. One would think that my parents supported me in this awful and hurtful situation, right? My entitled mother was utterly bored to be contacted by the lawyer, and the only thing she asked me is to not further embarrass her. My wallflower father called me. I missed the call. I contacted him. Hi Dad, did you call me? Reply, no, it was an accident. Bye. Welcome to the hell, that's my family. Our next Reddit post is from Myra_Gio. M gives her child to a complete stranger. Hey Reddit, feel free to roast me in the comments for any mistake. This story will be about my own mother, who is totally not a Karen, nor entitled, but in that situation I am persuaded that she was one. It actually makes me laugh each time I think about it, so just enjoy. My mother never had a driving license, so we always took the bus. This one I do not remember as I was like 2/3 years old, but I heard it 100 times. It was the mid-90s. We were going to visit my grandparents. My mother took me in the arms, my stuff was in the backpack, some other things for my grandparents in other bags, and she was carrying all of it waiting for the bus. The bus came totally full. No place to sit. She entered and was not able to just stand there the whole ride, but no one was willing to give up their place. The bus was mostly filled by high school students, 14 to 18 yo. Why do I think she was entitled? She came to one of the poor guys sitting, lifted me up, put me on his knees and said hold her. She said that the guy was so scared / surprised that he didn't even say anything. He was just holding me tight on his knees for the whole time. And I was happy that I was sitting and she was happy that she has less things to carry. I am 28 now and I sometimes think about that guy laughing smiley. I hope he is okay. Just a small edit. I am sure my mother was just frustrated to do this and I completely understand it and would never ever blame her or say anything bad about this. I just wanted to give you a nice story. Actually, when I bring up the story in front of her, she covers her face in her palms, starts laughing and looks embarrassed a bit. She is a star edit LL. Guys, thank you so much for the awards, upvotes and all the comments with your stories. I appreciate it so much. By the way, I called my mother and told her what I did here. She has no idea what Reddit is. At first she was embarrassed and started to justify her actions again, and then I told her, "Kman, you did perfect. Also the PPL commenting the story said so. And that now she is famous." She said, "Oh, that is so nice. So next time you will want to share a story, use this one," and told me another 3 stories from my childhood. Our next Reddit post is from Glimmerponitword. My stepfather's hobby is more important than my mom's health. Not sure if this fits this sub. If not, let me know a better one. This story features me, around 20, at the time, my mom, and my, luckily ex-stepfather, SP used to go to sports events as a photographer. He had his own website to upload the photos and occasionally sold them to newspapers. He had a normal, well-paying job next to this, so did my mom, and it was not at all like we relied on the little money he made selling his photos, despite not even covering his $10,000 equipment. I am saying this to emphasize that this was a mere hobby. Around that time my mom had to have multiple surgeries due to issues with her uterus and complications of the surgeries, which eventually led to her having to go through hysterectomy. This would have been shoot for every person to go through, but it was especially shoot for my mom, as she does not react well to anesthesia at all. After each surgery, she was afterwards dead for days, nauseous, etc. And just overall suffered a lot. After one of these many surgeries, she was getting released on a Saturday morning, which happened to be the day of a track and field competition my SP was going to go for photos. One more thing you have to know, I don't drive. Given the really good public transportation system in my country, I, as many other people my age, didn't feel the need so far to learn how to. On top of this, getting a license here is both very expensive, multiple $1,000s, and time-consuming. Every normal human being would have cancelled the track and field event to take care of your sick wife, right? Not my stepfather. For him, it was not even an option to go 2 hours later to be able to pick up my mom at the hospital quickly. The competition took place all day long. My mom was getting released in the morning, and the hospital is a 5 minutes drive from our place. So I ended up having to pick up my poor mother by bus. We live on the countryside however, so you still have to walk 10 minutes up the hill to reach our place. It was summer at the time. I had to almost drag up my mom, who was suffering still from her anesthesia and her surgery, up the hill in the scorching sun, making sure she doesn't faint. All because my stepfather prioritized his hobby over the health of my mom. You ask, why did we not get a taxi? Good question. I honestly don't remember. That doesn't make my stepfather less of an ass. My mom divorced him shortly after. Our next Reddit post is from Morpheus J. Mom has a problem with my headlights. A couple of years ago, my daughter worked at one of those haunts that goes from Halloween to around Christmas. Very popular. Like many such places, they employed young people. So it's about 2 or 3 a.m. when I pull into the parking lot to wait for her to come out. This lot is empty. Very empty. Only staff are in there. My car has low-level headlights that are on all the time. You cannot turn them off. So this mom drives in, parked directly in front of me facing me, with her headlights on. After some minutes, she gets out of her car, comes over to mine and says I need to turn off my headlights because they are blinding her. I politely, okay, probably not really, point out a few things to her. 1. My headlights do not turn off. 2. Out of all the empty spots in the lot, she chose to park in front of mine knowing that my lights were on. 3. Her lights were on and she is facing me and I am not complaining about it. She huffed a little and went back to her car. Funny thing is she never moved it. My daughter came out first and she got into my car. I then turn on my actual headlights. Fun times. Nothing big or dramatic. Just reminded of this when I was reading another post. Our next Reddit post is from Dunkindy's Nuts 2. M tried to let her kid shoot in front of our entrance. I work at a local fast food company, and due to our country's COVID restrictions, guests aren't allowed to dine in or use the toilet. We don't like denying people for asking if they can do this, but it's just how it is. The fine for individuals is €400- and €4,000 for my employer. Safe to say we don't really have any choice in how we enforce this rule. The consequences are pretty heavy. The rules had also been known for some time, and this particular rule had been reintroduced because of the situation in the last few weeks. So last week, M orders a small Coke from my manager. Because normally you have to order something to be able to use the toilet. After ordering, and not even receiving her drink, she walks her kid to the bathroom. My manager kindly notifies her of the rule, and that we make no exceptions. At this point Karen has flipped. Okay, I'll just let him shoot outside, she said. My manager thinks nothing of it, or that she at least takes him into some bushes, which are literally across the street, and off our company property, wishes her a nice day. Until M literally pulls down her son's pants in front of the doorway, revealing her son's junk in public, in front of the cameras. Seeing this, my manager rushes outside. Luckily the kid didn't have to take a shoot, but he was already peeing. My manager calls in the restaurant manager, and he gives her a stern talk and sends her off. What I don't get is this: if you hate these rules so much, why don't you let your kid shoot in front of the Parliament building? That's all, but in my opinion the police should have been called. Edit. This just became my most popular post. Thanks all. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed reading r/entitled parents with me. Hope to see you again soon. Bye now.